Hello there. If you are one of many people who find minimalism, organization, and simplicity a little bit overwhelming to get started with, then stick around. In today's episode, I'm going to share with you my 3 favorite simple tips to get started. So here we go. Hello friends, and a very warm welcome back to Simple Essentials. If you are new here, my name is Emmy and I create content around organization, budgeting, sustainability, and all sorts of things like that. My partner and I also recently bought a camper van, so you'll see a little bit of travel content coming up in the channel over the coming weeks. But without further ado, I wanted to share with you 3 really simple tips to get started with organizing and having some flow in your life. And the reason for this is, I know that a lot of people think that to declutter and structure and organize your life, you've got to do this big declutter. And don't get me wrong, decluttering is great. In fact, I even have a declutter challenge that I'll link up here somewhere that you can watch if you like. But if you're not energetically in the right space, or you've had stuff going on in your life and you feel really drained, but you want to create a little bit more daily flow in your life, then a massive declutter is probably going to be a little bit too hard basket for you right now. So maybe park the declutter challenge if you're not there quite yet and start practicing very simple daily routines. And for me personally, the 3 things I'm about to share with you, I have done for pretty much most of my life, definitely most of my life since I moved out of home. And there are really simple things that you can do that you'd be surprised how effective they are. So when it comes to clutter, and sometimes you live with other people, so it's not all your clutter and things like that. But what tends to happen is if we're feeling stressed or anxious and things like that on the inside, and then we see all this clutter on the outside, so in your space or in your home, what will start happening for most people is that they'll start to find it stressful. Some people start ignoring it over time, which can obviously be a very dangerous path to potential hoarding and things like that. But we're not talking about that today. We're talking about the stress that it causes most people to have cluttered spaces around them. And I say this as well with the pandemic in mind, because a lot of people have been working from home or are still working from home a lot more than they used to, which means that we spend a lot more time in our home. For me at the moment, I'm working 2 days a week in the office and 3 days a week from home. So I am in my space a lot, and the same thing for my partner. So we're basically at home more than we've ever been before. And we live in a small 2-bedroom apartment. I'm not sure of the square meters or the square footage, but it's not a big apartment that we live in. So here are my 3 tips that I hope will really help you, because they've really helped me. And I'd love to hear in the comments below what you think of them. This is something that I've been doing since I was a kid. I wouldn't get my weekly allowance if I didn't make my bed in the morning, and it's something that stuck with me. Certainly not like military regime that it had to be all tucked in and you could bounce the coin on the bed or anything like that. But it's very much a habit that I love my parents for teaching me, and it's something I've continued to do. I've also often lived in very small accommodations. So I've lived in, I've done a lot of van life and hostel life and traveling. I have also lived in very small apartments while I was studying, etc. So in the spaces I was in, quite often you would see the bed from literally every corner of the room, meaning that if the bed wasn't made, it actually cluttered up kind of the whole space. And in the pandemic, I have actually been, we only have a 2-bedroom house, so my partner has the study because he has a lot more tech equipment that he needs to be able to do his job. So he's got the bigger desk and the bigger screens, and I have a smaller desk, which I'll show you here, in the actual bedroom. So if the bed is not made, literally my office is right next to that. And for me, it's really important that I have a clear, nice space around me so that I can focus on my work and do my best work and be as creative as possible. So I still have like little cards and plants and things like that around me because they inspire me, but I'm really mindful to make my bed every single day. Research has also shown that if people make the bed in the morning, for some people it can have like that really positive side effect that you've already accomplished the very first task of the day by getting up and making your bed all nice. So in our family, we often start the day by having a coffee in bed and chatting about our intentions for the day and how we're feeling and what's going on. But the very last person to leave the bed in the morning has to make the bed. It's the rule, and it works really well. It takes like 30 seconds and it makes it really nice. So the second thing then is our main living area. So like I said, we have a kind of small apartment and our living area isn't huge. So what that means is that every single night we set a timer or we just intentionally take a few minutes to clean the space up real quick. And the reason for that is in the morning when we wake up, because we work from home or we spend so much time in our home, I love coming up to a clear, beautiful living room where blankets are put away. There's no cups and dishes from last night on the table. I mean, it's not perfectly clean, but it's tidy. So we normally spend, 2, maximum 5 minutes every night to just clear the living room of any clutter, put stuff away, put the cushions away where they live, and also cleaning up after the cat, because the cat loves to drag her toys all around the house and then they go missing or someone steps on them or hurt their foot. So what we tend to do is one of us will go around, find all the cat toys and put them back on her cat tower, so the next day we know where they live and she will go and find them and do the very same thing again. But the thing here is if you've got kids or things like that and there's stuff around everywhere, set a timer. Set a timer for 5 minutes and go, we're going to just tidy it up however clean we can get it in 5 minutes. And if everybody helps out, it is such a quick thing. And my partner and I just intuitively do this now. And I tell you, waking up to a clean living room, sitting down with your coffee, if you want to have it out there, is a really nice way to start the day. So I quite like that. And I'm sure if you start trying this, you will start to see how your mind starts to relax when there's less clutter around you. And finally, the kitchen. So a big part for us is we do the reset in the living room. So normally one person will kind of focus on that and the other person will deal with the kitchen. So normally the person who cooked dinner does not have to do the dishes. We do have a dishwasher though. So the main job in the evening is to just stack the dishwasher real quick. If it's full, put it on. We probably, with 2 people, we have a full-size dishwasher, so we run it about every second day. But if it's full, we make sure to put the dishwasher on, and we hand wash only a handful of dishes. So like really our good kitchen knives and our pots and pans and things like that, we tend to not put in the dishwasher. So I don't go through the length of like drying and putting everything away. So whoever's done the hand wash dishes tend to leave that on the draining board, which is totally fine. Wipe down the surfaces and off we go. And the really nice thing about this again is that when you get up in the morning to make yourself coffee or whatever, if the space is a clean slate, it's a really nice thing. And if I've got like 2 or 3 pots and pans to put away, that takes no time at all. Whereas starting dishes or starting to stack the dishwasher in the morning, the very first thing you do, at least for me personally, it's not the nicest flow for my day. So there you go, those 3 super simple habits: making your bed, clearing your main living space or resetting your main living space, and clearing out your kitchen or doing the dishes or whatever you need to do that would make you feel better. I find that these 3 things are so dead simple. It doesn't matter how much or little stuff you have around you to do this, but you'll inevitably find when you do this all the time that you start to question the stuff that you have and the things that you keep putting away or the dishes you no longer like and things like that. And then even without doing a massive declutter, you can just start a little box in a corner somewhere and go, yeah, this thing that I keep cleaning out and my kids keep throwing around, or this cup that I keep putting in the dishwasher and every time I look at it I don't actually like it. Start putting those things in a donation bin or something like that, and when that box is full you take it away. So you don't have to do a massive declutter or a massive thing like that. I'd love to hear what you think of these 3 simple tips. Is it something you already do? If so, how do you like it? And do you have any other awesome tips to share with the community? Because I'm all for adding more awesome strategies to my morning and evening routine to make life flow even better. I hope you have a fabulous week and I look forward to talk to you in my next video.